Hello and welcome to Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs. My name is Mustafa Hosseini, and today we are here with episode number 20. Our purpose with Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs is to share tips and actionable advice that you could use to boost your confidence when it comes to running your business on a daily basis. During the show today, I have two amazing guests, Antonia and Greg. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Great
to have you guys. And we have an amazing topic coming up, and I'm going to tell you in a second. So as we are going live, and today we're talking about how to attract 5-star clients. We are going to be giving away gifts today and later, and for you to enter the draw, if you like and subscribe to this show on whatever channel you're watching, if you comment and ask questions or tag a friend who could benefit from this topic, and if you rate the show on any of the podcast platforms, you enter your name into the draw. So you will get. We will do a draw later and give away gifts. Woo-hoo. So we also have our Confidence 52 checklist, which is a checklist of 52 things that you could do to boost your confidence on a daily basis. I am going to post a link here on the comments where you can go and grab the checklist. And, there are 52 things that you could do to boost your confidence. So welcome, Antonia and Greg. It's great to have you guys.
Hey, I got to go get that checklist.
That sounds great. That sounds like one for every week for a year.
Hey,
absolutely.
Nice.
And it took me about 20 years to put that together. So it's a result of working on it for 20 years.
A bit of value there.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how to confidently attract 5-star clients. And so before we get into that, tell us about your story. What is your guys' story?
Yeah, I'm going to go back. Usually I start at a certain point, but because we're talking about confidence in clients, I'm going to go way back.
Okay.
Because in my late teens, I was my gift is of touch. I know where to touch people, and they always say, "How did you know that was the spot?" And I say, "I don't know. It's just my gift."
Yeah.
So in my late teens, I was doing massage, and I became certified, and I started my health and wellness business doing massage. Mm-hmm. When Antonia and I had a roommate, that roommate was a guy who would go out and he was wholesaling cars. So he and an older guy would go to the Toyota place, and they'd buy 2 Fords, and they'd drive them away, and they'd go to the Ford dealer and they'd sell them and make some money. Then at the Ford dealer, they'd buy some Chryslers, and they'd go to the Chrysler dealer. So you get the idea. So this guy, he was hiring me to give him a massage every morning, and it would energize his body, and he'd feel great, and he'd feel like he could just go out and do it. So I thought, this is amazing what I can do. And he would tell me every day, because he was our roommate, he'd come back and he'd say, "Hey, I made $700 today. This is amazing. You can give me a massage at 6 a.m, right?" So yeah. This went on for a long time. We were roommates for 6 months. And as my business went along, I started trying to chase doing some multi-level stuff, and I loved products that were health products. And what I found is that I lost focus, and I wasn't focusing on my gift, and I wasn't attracting clients that wanted what I had. I was looking for people who wanted to buy something that I was excited about because I was going to make a lot of money at it. Of course, I never made a ton of money at that. And as we got closer to having a family, I thought, I'm not making enough money doing my massage thing. I better go do something else. And I got a corporate job. I liked it. I was working for a music software company, and I was in sales and marketing, and I'm a musician. So it really fit in, except I am one of those people that if I'm not doing what I'm here to do on the planet, I don't do well. So I got sick, and it took a while. It was like 8 years. So 8 years into this job, I'd gotten back from a business trip, and I wasn't well. And I wasn't well for 6 months, and I lost 40 pounds. And the last time that I went to the doctor said, "Well, Greg, there's nothing medically wrong with you."
We actually thought that he had pancreatic cancer and that they just couldn't find it, and he was going to die.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's a very kind of dramatic view of it. And I'm not a dramatic person. So it was like, I thought, I got to figure this out. I got to heal myself. And at that time, so relates back to when I was learning massage earlier. At that time, Whole Foods was a new store, and I went to Whole Foods, and that tells you how far back this story was. And I was like starving all the time because I had this gastrointestinal problem. Everything would just go straight through me. And I'm at Whole Foods, and I'm grazing the aisles, buying stuff. And I come up to this woman who was one of the teachers in my massage class in the late 70s. And I said, Priscilla, I've been meaning to call you. And she said, I know, your pancreas is really in trouble. It was like, whoa, that's amazing. I knew that she was very intuitive. So I went to see her, and in this 90-minute session, she did all this energetic healing that was really based in physiology and metabolic, assimilation and what my stomach was doing. But it was all energetic. It wasn't, any prescriptions or anything like that. And in that 90 minutes, I was completely healed. I left without any symptoms ever again. So that's kind of how that was the story from not doing what my calling was, and then how it affected me over time. And it was really the gateway for us. It was the turning point where we started to think, wow, this is something that's very powerful that we're drawn to. And we studied with this woman. We became certified. We eventually started actually teaching the certification course. And that was 25 years ago.
And actually, what was so amazing also was that right after Greg had this physical transformation, I had been working in Silicon Valley for 14 years or something like that in high-tech training. And it was kind of the same situation. I came from a background with alcoholic family, and I would get sick a lot, and I had pneumonia or bronchitis 2 or 3 times a year for years and years. And here we were in these high-tech jobs. We were starting our family, passing the babies off at the airport. We were traveling around the world. And I was ready. I was pregnant, 8 months pregnant with our second daughter. And this was right after this all happened with Greg. And I was out raking leaves, and I got a blister. And I'm like, oh, whatever. And just went about, my business. And the next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I can't move my hand very well. And I was like, that's weird. And I just kept on going and stuff. And I was like, And a couple hours later in the morning, I was like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm kind of dizzy. And I was like, okay, well, I have a doctor's appointment because I was already on antibiotics because I had bronchitis when I was 8 months pregnant. And so I was on these antibiotics, but I might as well go to that doctor appointment early. And when I got to the doctor, he said, roll up your sleeve. And I rolled up my sleeve, and I had a red line going up my arm into my armpit. And it was at that point that I realized that I was totally not in control of my body, not in control of how I was going out into the world, and that I needed to make a change because this was a danger, not only to me, but to our own unborn baby and our family. And that's when we were like, oh, we have to figure this out, started our healing business, started certifying people, teaching certification, seeing hundreds of clients, so that people could start to do it.
I think we're cutting out a little bit. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. I lost your voice. You're muted now. There you go.
Yes.
Okay. So you were cutting out again. Can you repeat the last part again, please?
Started how to bring all of the tools into their own businesses, into their families.
Something is not working the way it should. All right, so can you tell me if you can hear me? Okay, so they dropped off the call, and I am going to try to get them back here and see if we can figure out this technical issue. I apologize for the technical issue. Something is not working the way it should. There they are. Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Let me see if I can. Wait, one more thing. Your picture is kind of frozen. You're muted now.
I unmuted. I muted it. It's muting us.
Give me one second. See if I could do anything. Okay, that's better. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, better.
Oh, love technology.
Yeah, it happens. It's all good. It's part of it. So for what I gather, so I lost you're saying there was a red line going from your arm all the way up to your shoulder?
Yeah, I had blood poisoning.
Blood poisoning.
Very serious.
Yep. So that's from that infection in my hand, it started going up. And once that line hits your heart, you're dead, basically. So that's why the doctor was like, oh man, and he got full of antibiotics and all sorts of stuff. And that's when I realized I don't have control over my body.
Interesting. So we're still dealing with that sound interruption. Well, let's see if it will improve over time. So, for what I gather, what was the solution to that? What you might call it, to the issue that you were experiencing? The blood infection, was it? What's going on?
We're gonna log in on a different computer. For some reason, we got technical problems here.
That's all good. No problem. I'll cover you guys until you get back here. So,
okay.
Back to Greg's point here about focusing on what you're good at. I'm going to keep talking until you guys get here. And focusing on your gift. I think if you work on or try to focus on things that you're not good at, you wouldn't have a lot of confidence. So once you focus on your gift and you focus on the things that you're really good at, then you'd be confident in, presenting yourself. You'll be confident when it comes to what you might call it, finding customers, approaching, telling them about what you do, and then communicating with them on what you do because you're really good at it. It's your gift. So, and I know some people don't know exactly what their gift is. And part of it could be that they need to spend some time with someone like Greg and Antonia and figure out exactly what their gift is so that they can focus on it, so that they can be confident at that and be the best in the world at that one thing that you do that you're good at. And, basically grow your business that way, which makes it a lot easier, right? So the fastest way for you to build your confidence, one of the fastest ways, is to figure out what your gift is and focus on your gift and focus on becoming the best on the planet at delivering your gift, whatever your gift is. And one of the ways that I have experienced when it comes to what you might call it, finding your gift, is simply put a question on top of a page that says, the question is, what is my gift? Then what you could do is answer that question and brainstorm on what is your gift. The other thing that you could do is you can ask your people and people around you, your best friends, family, customers, and the rest of the people that you're in contact with, and ask them, what do you think my gift is? Now, if a whole bunch of people say your gift is identifying strength and, in other people and seeing the good in them, that probably is your gift. That's something you could bank on, right? There are things that we do that we're good at that other people see it, right? And then we could take that and focus on it. Now, by focusing on what you're really good at, you become more confident. You have more self-esteem because that's something that you're natural at. And there they are. And then by focusing on what your gift is, then you can, become more confident. So can you guys hear me okay now? Can you guys hear me?
This happened before, didn't it?
Can you guys see me or hear me?
Uh-oh.
I can hear you.
Let's try.
Maybe your volume is low.
Default. See, we can't have headphones though.
No.
Audio.
This should work.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear us?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, though.
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
We can't hear you.
If we get our...
Is your speaker off?
Do we have another pair? So we can each have one. Huh? Oh my God.
It's okay. Take your time.
This is crazy. I'm so sorry.
It happens. Technology and malfunctions happen all the time. So one of the things, as you are actually running your show, if you're on stage like this and you're live on multiple channels, when you get technical difficulties like this, keep your cool and work on fixing it.
We can't hear.
Can you hear me okay? You can hear me now? So what I was saying is, can you hear me okay?
Headphones right there.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Seriously.
Okay. Now I can hear us.
All right.
Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yay! We've
All
done
right, perfect. So what I was saying is, if you're live on a stage and you get a technical difficulty like this, I was just saying that to the audience and people that are watching and listening, keep your cool and work on fixing it. There is nothing that you could do, like complaining about it is not going to fix it. It happened. Technology, it's part of it.
Right? Getting angry does no good.
It doesn't fix the problem.
No.
So It has happened to me multiple times, and there's really not much I could do about it. So let's go back to your story. You said that there was a red line going from your arm up, and you said there was some blood infection going on.
Yeah, so I had a blood infection from getting a blister from raking leaves, and it happened overnight. And I was 8 months pregnant, and so by the time I got to the doctor the next day, and he said, "Roll up your sleeve," and that line was up there, it meant it was about up to here. And by the time it gets to here, if it gets to your heart, it kills you, basically. So we were just in time. He pumped me full of antibiotics and sent me home to rest. I think I was on 3 kinds of antibiotics. But what it made me realize was that I wasn't in control of what was happening with my body and how exhausted I was from working overtime in this high-tech job where it wasn't my calling. Similar to Greg's story, is that this was not in my mission. I was working in high tech. My mission is healing people and helping teach people to heal themselves. And it was at that moment that we both, from these different angles, were saying, oh my gosh, we're off our path. We need to get back on our path. And that's when Greg had gotten this beautiful healing. I'm like, I need some of that for a different kind of stuff. And so we jumped in and we became the students and got certified. And then we became apprentices. We opened our healing center. Pretty soon we started teaching the certification course and certifying bunches of healers to go out and heal other people. And we started Self-Health Institute and started our mission so that we could teach people how to heal themselves, not only physically, but mentally as business owners and entrepreneurs, because there's this huge connection, right, between your mind, your body, your spirit, and it all has to come together in order so that you can have that confidence. You can get rid of the self-doubt. You can get rid of the fear and the anger that overrides some of your best decision-making, and so when you can join your body, your mind, and your spirit, your super consciousness, so that you're all integrated, that helps you make the best decisions for you and your business. It helps you clear out all those things that bring up that fear and knock your confidence down.
Absolutely. So with respect to what you guys are working on right now, what are the key elements to attracting clients that are a great fit for what you do in your offer?
Hey, what's so important is the connection that you have deeply with your passion and how you bring that to people. And when you're really connected with your passion and your purpose in your business, it's obvious to people. And that's a matter of getting all the other stuff out of the way, the kind of extraneous things that have happened over time in your life that get in the way of you being able to show up so that people can really see you. So we really focus on, how events in your life, emotions, thoughts, beliefs affect how you move forward and show up when you're attracting clients, because everybody can see what you're bringing. And when it becomes purely your gift, your passion, your desire, what your intention is and what you put your attention to, that focus becomes something that people see, and they're like, I don't even know why I want to be with you, but I don't even care what you do. I just want to be with you.
And one of the ways of really portraying that to people, and we talk about in our experience that we're doing this week, the Energize Your Client Attraction experience, is talking about your uniqueness and the uniqueness of your offer. What do you bring that's different from everyone else, that'll differentiate you from everyone else in the crowd? And that's, when you know how you're unique and what you're bringing is so authentically you, that's a confidence booster, right? You're like, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I'm on my path. I feel this authenticity and that connection with your clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I think when you guys were trying to figure out the audio thing, I talked about how when you focus on your gift, you don't have to do much. It's like, it's your willpower, and then it's your wheelhouse. You step into it, and you are confident, you're vibrant, people could see it. You don't have to do much to convince people because you're good at it.
Right. And that's what's so cool that I don't think everybody realizes is we're trying to summon, we want our authentic gifts to come up. And when we bring them up and when we really are with them, that's when it becomes clear as day to other people. It's like, oh my gosh, they see exactly what you're doing inside of yourself. They totally see it from the outside.
Absolutely. And I think that would bring up energetic alignment, which would be my next question on what is energetic alignment and why is it important to be aligned with your offer and what you do?
Yeah, it's so important because the things that take us out of alignment are not our gifts and our passion and the way that we want to be in the world. What takes us off of or out of alignment is when we go to do things that many times we haven't done before. It's like the level in business that we're trying to get to. And because we've never been there, there's this natural tendency, and this is actually the way it's supposed to be, that when you go out of your comfort zone, your body and your brain is going to bring up stuff that's been difficult because it wants to work through it. It's not like you just want to say, I'm just going to forget about that stuff and move forward. No, your life experience is there to really inform you of how it is bringing what's happening right now, your challenges, to the forefront so that you can really work with those challenges, overcome things that you've never had to deal with before in the way as you're growing. Does that make sense?
Well, and the deal is that those challenges that we face, when you work with them and work through them, that's what really shows up your superpowers, right? So all of those wounds that you might have had in the past, it turns into the wisdom that your gift is part of your gift that you give your people. And that wisdom is really attractant to people and what makes your authentic self so attractive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us about why people should have a mission and a vision and how that helps them on attracting the ideal clients for them.
Yeah, I think it's like a foundation. When we have the foundation and we've really set about what we want to create in the world and how we're going to go about doing that. So that's our mission and that's our vision. And then that foundation allows us to move into these areas where we'll both excel, have challenges, be able to overcome things that come up. And as we do that with this foundation of vision and mission, it gives us this feeling of really being able to accomplish what we've dreamed of. So it's a way of bringing our dreams into this foundational reality. And when we do that, we just get more confident and we feel like, wow, this works. What I'm doing is right. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then we get that confirmation with people where they're like, wow, I don't know. You're cool. I like you. And because people also have that vision where they say, there's someone that I need to meet because they're going to help me in the next area of my business development, my life, my relationships. And when those things align and your mission and vision are something that people say, I can feel that, then that's a connection that is so strong. And it's vibrationally, this is the energetic alignment that we want. We want people to be specific. We want them to say, you're the one, or nope, you're not for me.
Mm-hmm. And just to add on to that, I think that what is so important about a vision and mission is that when you create those and when you start manifesting that, that's from a deeper place. It's not from just your brain saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to power through this, or I'm going to make this happen. The vision and mission comes from your whole being, your whole super consciousness. It is why we're here on the earth, to fulfill that part. So it's really important to have that deeper meaning and that deeper drive to push our business forward when times aren't as great. Because if we do something just with our brain, when things get tough, when things don't go right, we're like, forget this, I'm not doing this. But when it comes from a deeper place, you're like, nope, that's just a bump in the road. I'm going to keep going.
Absolutely. I love what you just said about mission, vision, and alignment. And I think, and I'm a huge fan of what you just talked about in terms of once you know what your mission, what your vision is, once you know what your goals are, and attaching that and working with what your gift is, that's what that true alignment happens. And people see you, and where there's a spark in your eye, there's speaking of vibrational alignment, it's like, this person is so content and in tune with what he or she is doing. I love them. That's when people are like, they look at you and they're like, I like you. I want to work with you.
Well,
right.
Well, and I think in this time, especially, and from now on, people are going to really discriminate about who they're going to work with. Because when you look out into the marketplace, there's so many people. Like if you were to just put the words down, what we do, it's hard to differentiate us from other people. But when you start talking about mission and vision and the way that what we're passionate about, and I love what you do, because you really bring that out in people. And I know you have this wonderful process that you do with people where you take step by step, where they build that whole foundation. And I think it's just so masterful that you do that, and that's your business. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm so glad that there's people like you who are all about that foundational layer where this is what you build from.
Likewise, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it does make a difference to have all these foundational pieces figured out. Once you figure out the foundations, then building becomes a lot easier. But if you're building on a shaky or soft foundation, then you're going to be in trouble, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and especially in times like these, right? When there's so many factors that are difficult, and that throwing roadblocks up, it seems like every day there's a different roadblock, and unless you have that firm foundation, it's going to be easier to fall off.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I understand that you guys are sharing a gift. What are you up to in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we got a whole thing going right now where we're doing this experience, a 5-day experience, and it's not too late to jump in for those of you who are listening. It's really a good time. There are these little bite-sized pieces that we do for 5 days. We're in day 3 right now. It's the Energize Your Client Attraction Experience. And we just love doing work like this, where we're introducing really the inside-out effect of when you work on being able to attract clients from what you love and what you really want to be able to offer out into the world. And when people feel that, so this is a way to get deeper into those feelings, into that energetic reality that's deep inside you. And these are the magic pieces that make it that as you're going through your day and you hit road bumps like Antonia was talking about, instead of it looking like a problem, it becomes a golden opportunity. Because when you can look at what's going on in your business day and say, I've got this. I have this mission and vision, and I know who I want to attract. Instead of feeling like, God, how am I going to ever do this? And how am I going to get past this, difficult spot in my day? And kind of that's what our whole business is about, is being able to keep people going through their day energetically, so that instead of feeling like things that are going to lead them into self-doubt and procrastination, instead it brings them to this wow, this is something that I am so glad that I get to look at now. And it's a difficult thing, but as you get over that little hurdle, wow, now you're more powerful.
Yeah. So the experience, that's the 5-day experience this week. Again, it's just little teeny tiny videos that come to your mailbox. You would get all day 1, 2, and 3 right away as soon as you sign up. And we just go through the whole week. We got a beautiful Q&A tomorrow to ask any questions. We have prizes. We have a big grand prize on Sunday. And, we're going to have master classes after that. And so we're really excited about where we're going.
Fantastic. And then at the end of the 5-day experience, what is it that they're going to walk out with?
So they're going to really feel like they have this knowing that what they have discovered at a level that they may not have been looking at all the way, as far as this deep down way that they're now want to present themselves. And it's really a really step by step as we go through the days. They're going to feel like, wow, I am so much more aligned with the vision of the person that I want to attract, that when I see them, I'll know right away who they are, and I'll know the people who are not my best clients. As
well as how your own uniqueness influences your offer, how to work that into your marketing so that helps your ideal client see you. So you'll have this whole setting, energetic setting of attracting your ideal client with your perfectly aligned offering that you can use again and again and again throughout your business.
Got it. So is this like intuition that they're going to develop?
Well, everybody has intuition, right? And there is part of, it's actually more of a feeling, just being able to feel into who you are and what makes you different, and setting those intentions of what you want. It's like setting the goals, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
And we actually write down, have you write down the words. What's unique about you? How are you different?
Yeah.
All that. So it's very compelling as far as revealing more of what's going to really give them a deep understanding of how to attract their ideal client.
Love it. I'm actually writing those 2 questions down. What is unique about you and how are you different?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer that question myself.
Jump into the challenge. It's in there.
It's fun.
Honestly, this week I've got so much going on that I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I look forward to maybe the next run that you guys are going to do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So what do you guys do for fun?
We live in Northern California. We have a little piece of land we call Hummingbird Farm.
Nice.
And we love to grow food and write songs and play with our grandson.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it, spending time in nature, growing your own food, and it just tastes so much better. And you're not throwing any of the bad chemicals, stuff that you don't want.
Yeah, like for lunch right before this, we got a zucchini out of the garden and made zucchini tartare with a little bit of almonds and olive oil and a little pecorino cheese sprinkled on top, and all of that zucchini. It was so good.
Absolutely. And Anne here says, what is unique about me and how am I different? Yeah, and you got the questions right. I'm going to actually fill that out and answer those questions once we're done here. What are the top 1 or 2 books that you guys would recommend everybody to read?
Yeah, I love The Power of Now. It's just it's such a classic, and you can go back to that book anytime and find really foundational grounding principles that are so important, because the power of now is what we have. That's
And the
the
book-
Eckhart Tolle
Yep.
Power of Now.
And the book I have on actually I have stacks of books on my bedside table, but one of them that I'm halfway through that I absolutely adore is Ridgely Goldsborough's book about mentor. What is the becoming
What is it called? The Great Ones.
The Great Ones?
What a great book.
About being a mentor. I would highly recommend. It's a brilliant book. I think everyone should read it. Excuse me?
It's about being a mentor?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really, and it juxtaposes these foundational principles of business with a fable about a boy. And the two things are face to face on each page.
Ridgely Goldsborough.
All right. I would love to get the links to those books so that I can post it on show notes when we're posting it on our podcast. Now, I'm going to ask you to answer this separately. If you had a Facebook ad that everyone on the planet could see, what would your message be?
Well, my message is always be here now. Don't worry. And it would just be that. Don't worry about the past or stress about the future. Be right here, right now, and breathe.
Love it. Power of presence.
Power of
Exactly.
presence, yeah.
What about you, Greg? What would your message?
I think my message would be, do you know your brilliance? Do you know your brilliance? Do you know your genius? Do you know you are a genius and you're brilliant? I think that could be attractive.
Yeah. I think knowing what you're really good at and your gift is usually a good eye opener and aha moment for people.
Yes.
I think might be helpful.
Well, we've all got it. I mean, it's like if you don't know what it is, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay not to know what your brilliance and your gift is, but it's also really important to know that you're brilliant and you have a gift. Yeah. That everybody has a genius that's unique to them.
And that's actually something we touch on in the experience too, about how to figure out if it, like for me, I sometimes have an issue with kind of seeing myself from the outside in. I see other people very clearly, but myself, I can't always have that translation. So it's been very helpful for me to do like human design and Enneagram and looking at all of these different ways, archetypes of how we are, so that, oh yeah, I am like that, so that's a good way of helping people figure it out.
Love it. Yeah, getting to know yourself and I guess you're right. If we cannot see our own picture,
it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's and someone from outside, like it's easy for me to look at you and give you feedback, but I cannot give myself feedback.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes people tell me that. What I'm trying to say is I cannot also coach myself.
Exactly.
I need a coach.
That's why we need mentors and coaches, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an obvious thing. I've done massage for many years, and I have like 25,000 hours of working on bodies.
Yeah.
And people will always get off the table and they'll say, God, that was amazing. Mm-hmm. How do you do that? And I always say, well, I couldn't possibly do that without you.
Right.
It only took 25,000 hours.
It's like, what?
It's easy. It only takes 25,000 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's a genius, right?
Absolutely. Love it. So, how can people get a hold of you? Where can you be found?
Yeah, the best way to contact us is to play. So we love to have people play in the events that we're doing. We've got a number of things coming up over the next couple months.
So one way is to jump into the Entrepreneurs Success Lounge Facebook group, and that's where we're doing our current experience. Jump in there, jump into the experience, and that'll get you on our radar. And we just love meeting new people. We have a beautiful community of entrepreneurs and business owners, heart-centered, spiritually conscious entrepreneurs and business owners. And it's a fun group. We're having a blast in there right now.
All right, I think I butchered entrepreneurs as I was typing, but
It's
I
close.
have to put my glasses
if
on.
you want to find them, go on Facebook and search for Entrepreneur Success Lounge on Facebook and join the group so you can become a member of their tribe and hang out with their crew in the community and take it from there. I think the challenge that they're doing is amazing. I'd left the link in the comments and the show notes. Go join them. If you're listening or watching later, and work on figuring yourself out, your strength and your weaknesses and what your gift is, because this is a very important piece that I would say well over 90% of business owners are missing. And that's why they have a hard time growing and scaling their business, because the stuff that they're focusing on is not really their gift.
Right.
Exactly.
And it would be hard to sell something that you don't like.
Exactly.
If you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't believe in yourself, right? Why should I believe in you?
Yeah,
Yes.
and it can even be a really good service. It can be a really good product. It can be a great program. But if you're not passionate about it, when you hit the bumps in the road, you're going to stop at the bottom of the bump instead of going over it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, is there anything that you'd like to mention before we wrap up? Anything we haven't talked about?
You know,
Gosh, you're such a good interviewer. I think we talked about so much.
Anything you want to re-emphasize?
yeah, I think one of the things that is foundational for us is that when something goes wrong and you don't feel right, there's a reason why. And finding out what's going on is really important. If you get frustrated, it doesn't happen just for no reason. If you feel like you're down or not confident about what you're doing, it doesn't happen for no reason. So look into how you're feeling and what are the thoughts and beliefs behind it. And that will give you all kinds of information about how to proceed and how to look at what's going on in that moment.
Right. And those feelings and thoughts and beliefs are important clues so that you can grow, your confidence, build that skill. Confidence is a muscle. It doesn't just appear overnight. You have to work on it and build it from the inside out. And your feelings, thoughts, and beliefs are your roadmap to building that confidence.
Absolutely. And confidence is usually an internal thing. It is not external. So what you guys are doing with the experience of looking inside and see what's happening and finding your gift, like if you buy a brand new Gucci bag or some shoes or clothing and stuff, it gives you some temporary confidence that will disappear in a matter of hours and days.
Yeah.
But once you work on finding your gift, which is the amazing work that you guys are doing, once you find it, it's like more of a permanent confidence tool that it like you mentioned earlier, even if you hit a roadblock or if you hit a failure, it's temporary. You know that you're working towards reaching your goal, your mission and your vision, and you know that this is your gift. Guys, this is such a great topic. I want to talk about it about another 2 hours.
Right.
Love it. So, thank you for joining me. This was an amazing conversation, and we are going to post it on our podcast later. We have to do some editing to get some of the pauses out, but that's fine. It happens. That's why we do editing, and I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
Thank you so much. Just
appreciate it.
Wonderful time.
Great being with you, Mustafa.
Thank
Likewise.
you.
So, gang, for those of you who are watching and listening, one way that we help our audience and community boost their confidence is through creating a one-page marketing plan. And the problem that we fix is most coaches, consultants, experts, healers and speakers are poking around at different marketing tools, ideas, and programs, and they do that aimlessly without any goals or plans, which is creating a lot of confusion and frustration and anxiety and straight up depression, because of the fact that they're hitting and facing failure every day. So the solution that we provide is a one-page marketing plan that simplifies everything, as we are all about community and simplicity, as Ridgely would put it. And our next course is starting on October 23rd and 23rd, 24th, 25th. It's a 3-day event next weekend. Join us. It is complimentary. All we're asking for is a commitment to show up and work on your business.
Wow.
And, build your one-page marketing plan. Thank you for having me. And thank you guys again for being here. I look forward to working with you. Really, really enjoyed the conversation, and I love what you're up to. And thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.